Is my voice audible? Is my voice nice? Good evening, Shanji. Good evening. Thank you, Nick G, for confirming the same. Thank you, Nick G. Namaskara. இது comedy time. Voice is loud and clear. வணக்கம், எப்படி இருக்கீங்களா? ఎలా ఉన్నారు? బాగా బిర్యానీ తింటారా? So how was your day, guys? How was your day? Monday blues. You must have, broken. No trades. Good. The best trade in the world is when you don't trade, right? So as of now, yeah, because at least you'll not lose confidence, nor you will not lose any of such capital. Yes, Sanjanji, I've tried Namanto biryani and it was good. Thank you. Sri Lakshmi ji, please watch and practice very well, because until you master, it will take some time, right? It will take some time. So good evening, Jasprit ji. So last class, what are the topics that we touched upon? So what was the last topic that we discussed? Shanji, my biryani score. So this is my biryani score. So at least I can have good biryani today. So I've used 3 lakh rupees. What is the ROI? Venuji, definitely. Yes, Purnimaji, I'll tell you once you learn things. I'm a daily wage laborer, so I have to make some money to earn some bread on daily basis. So I'm bright student of stock market. Thank you, Paraj. Last bencher. So we have discussed hourly gainers and hourly losers, right? I think we touched upon all the scanners. So Stikji, good evening. So whenever we discuss our intraday setup, then we can retest all the intraday scanners with the setup. That will make sense, right? Kiranji, you want to become like a daily wage laborer like me? Definitely so. See, when we become a boss of our own business, then you can decide your salary like this on daily basis. There's no retirement. I decide my timing, and I don't work for anybody, because after preparing for IAS exams, it's very tough to work under someone, right? So that's the problem. So let's go ahead. Let me discuss candlestick patterns. I'll teach you the most powerful 8 candlestick patterns, which are very much vital to make money, whether it's swing investment or intraday trading. Shall we go ahead? Is it good to go now? Yes. So let's start with candlestick pattern. So what do you guys understand from candlestick? What is the inference that you try to draw from candlestick? I just want to know what is the knowledge you guys are having in terms of candlestick. Thank you, Swastik ji. Market sentiment, Jasprit ji, very good. The intent of buyers and sellers. It represents price action, power of buyer and seller, very good. Candlestick. Tells psychology, yes. More in control, buyers or sellers. So very good. Okay. So very good. Can you understand the price action? It feels amazing looking at the candlestick. Yes, whenever I do analysis with the candlestick pattern having dinner, it's like having candlelight dinner every day, because most of the time I'll be looking at the candles in the candles at the chart. So I have a simple definition for candlestick pattern, which would suffice for your future reference. It's a tug of war between buyers and sellers, right? The outcome, whether it's a green candle or a red candle, it is the outcome of tug of war between buyers and sellers. If buyers are more in number, they'll paint the candle to be green, or if sellers are more in number, they paint the candle to be red. There's no pink candle, right? It is just a green or red. There's no gray area, because it will try to understand, it will try to tell you the sentiments in the market, right? Whether it's greed or fear, nothing in between. Yes or no? How many of you guys agree with my statement? Greed and fear, it is not new to stock market because it's been there since Indus Valley civilization, where one king used to wage war against the other kingdom with the greed of acquiring more resources, right? At the same time, he used to have a robust army to protect his own kingdom because of the fear of getting acquired. So the emotions of greed and fear, it's always been there in the market. So whenever you deploy your hard-earned money in the market, so you will be struck either by greed or fear, yes or no? So you need to strike a balance between greed and fear. That's how you will stay emotionally neutral. So my simple definition is it's a tug of war between buyers and sellers. So what are the information that you get from this particular picture? Let me see if you guys understand anything from this. What are the information that you're trying to get here? What do you understand from high, close, open, low? I've already taught OHL strategy. Can you all please type what is OHL strategy? We referred Fatafat screener, right? So please tell me what is OHL strategy. I want everybody to type. कितना तेजस्वी लोग हैं हमारे ग्रुप में, कितना अच्छा विचार रखते हो, आप सबके ऊपर बहुत नाज है. Correct. When open is equal to high, the stock is supposed to be bearish, and if open is equal to low, the stock is supposed to be bullish, right? I'm using supposed to be, right? I'm not saying confirmed it will happen in the market, yes or no? Okay, so let me tell you, do you guys see open, high, low, close here? So do you see real body and the wick? Wick is nothing but the stick like extension that you have over, above and below the body of the candle, right? So let me explain how does this wick as well as body is created. So please remember, I'll be explaining these concepts later also. I'll be connecting all the dots. Please write down the difference between high to low of the candle. Difference between high to low of the candle is the length of the candle. The difference between high to low of the candle is length of the candle. Okay. Next point. The difference between open price and close price is equal to real body. The difference between open and close price is real body. So next time, whenever I ask you about length of the candle, which are those 2 points will you take for reference? High to low, very good. If I'm talking about what is the actual appreciation or depreciation that happened in a particular stock by referring to a body of the candle, what difference will you take? Open to close. At what point a particular stock opened and at what point it closed, right? That is how it is. Let me take a case study to explain how does a green candle or a red candle is formed. Let us take a bullish sentiment day. Let's take a budget day where you have a beautiful bullish sentiment where the government is trying to give a lot of advances to all the sectors of the economy. So all are bullish. So I'll give you a case study wherein there are 100 traders. There are 100 traders on that particular day. Out of 100 traders, 80 are buyers and 20 are sellers. Who is more dominant in this case? So buyers, right? Because survival of the fittest, right? Buyers are more powerful. Okay, but whenever market opens at 9:15, buyers will do their job of buying and sellers will do their job of selling. Nobody will worry about what's happening in the market, right? So when we have more number, that dictates the strength in the market, right? So let us take a bullish day when market opens at open price. Sellers who are not aware of the budget outcome, they try to the 20 sellers who are not aware of the budget outcome, they try to sell according to their direction. So whenever the market opens, let's consider a particular stock. They started selling and they reduce the share value of the stock to reach the lowest point. I'll just repeat. When the market opened, those 20 sellers started selling heavily and they brought the stock to the lowest point. Okay, then what happens at the low, maybe at the support area or at the demand zone or at the lowest point of the share, who will be available? Buyers will be available. Why? Because they always want to buy at a lower price. Yes or no? Why do we wait for Big Billion Day on Flipkart? Just to buy things at a very less price, right? So when you find the stock at the lowest point, don't you think it's an attractive investment for buyers? So when buyers try to pitch in into competition, when sellers see huge volume of buyers which is trying to, you know, win over them in terms of strength, don't you think they'll book their profits and escape from this point that is low, because they have participated at open price and they have dragged the share value to the lowest point, and definitely they will be in some profit rather than skipping that profits. They'll book their profits and escape. They don't want to win because that's a buyer's day. So at the lowest point, buyers will participate and they push the share value to the highest point to create the high. The low was created by sellers and buyers pitched in and they pulled the share value to the highest point. Okay. At highest point, what happens? Say, for example, out of 80 buyers, 40 buyers will book their profits and escape. Why? Don't you think buyers participating at low and staying in the bullish trend till the highest point, don't they having huge profits at the highest point? Yes or no? Yes, right. Because half of the buyer's wife will be sitting next to them. Whenever they see profits, let's book profit and let's go for shopping. That's what they would pressurize them, and half of the buyers will book their profits and escape because of the fear of wife. Right? How does a wife word is derived? If you take first two letters and last two letters from wildlife, you get wife, right? So because of the fear of the wife, half of them book their profits and escape. The remaining half, they don't have enough money power. So definitely it is trying to dip. It is trying to dip and they close at the close price, right? So what happened? It was a bullish day. There were 100 traders, 80 traders. They are very sure according to the news market will go up and they are very determined to take the market upward. And the remaining 20 people, they are not aware of the news. They just got up exactly at 9:14 just to participate, sell trade at 9:15. Okay, when market opened, they started selling and it went till the lowest point. And when they got to know the actual news, market will become bullish, they booked their profit and escaped. So there is no competition for buyers. And buyers started buying at lowest point and they pulled it up to the highest point. At highest point, the actual profit booking will start because of the wife indicator. So half of them book their profit and escape, remaining half they don't have any enough money power to close the green body of the candle at the highest point. So they just try to dip and they try to close according to their money power. That's how open, high, low, close is formed. Is this point clear? Are you guys trying to get it? Yes. So let's try to take negative sentiment day. Say, for example, when Russia attacked Ukraine at 4 a.m. in the morning. Definitely, it was supposed to be a cold war, and it initiated to be the actual war, right? So everybody want to book their profits and escape out of stock market until the issue is resolved, right? So 80% of them out of 100 traders, 80% of them, they are aware that the market will fall. Let us exit our holdings. We can reinvest at the lowest point. So when the market is open, the 20 buyers who are not aware about the news, they start buying a particular stock. Hence, they push a particular stock from open to high. This high is created by buyers who will be available at the highest possible level. Sellers, it can be a resistance, it can be a supply area where you see a lot of sellers sitting to sell at the highest point, right? Because they want to offload all the stocks which are at highest price. So all the sellers will start selling a particular stock because they don't have any tug of war here, because it's pure dominance, as buyers escaped from this area thinking they'll incur loss. So from highest point, sellers will bring this particular candle to the lowest point. Okay. Once again, sellers are in huge profits because they sold at highest point and they are at the low. Half of them, they booked their profit and escape. Remaining half, they could not close the red body to the lowest point. And hence there was a retracement and they will close at this level. That's how open high low close is created on a bearish trade. Is this clear? Do you guys calculate the length of the candle? High to low. How do you calculate the actual appreciation open to close? Okay. I think we have touched upon the basics of candles. Let's try to understand what are the different types. No, Nick G, whenever I talk about sellers, are those people who have huge number of stocks in their portfolio, say around 5,000 shares. Whenever they start booking their profits at the highest value, then there will be no demand for such stocks, right? So it's like supply demand kind of a thing. We're not talking in terms of options. We're just trying to tell about the big players who own like 10,000 share or 20,000 shares in a particular company. When those guys sell, then definitely the price will come down because the availability of the shares will be too much. When there is too much of availability, then there won't be too much of. When there's too much of supply, there won't be any demand for it, right? So, what are the types of candlestick patterns we have? One is reversal candlestick patterns. That is my personal favorite, where we can make very good profit with proper risk reward ratio. And next is continuation pattern. Continuation pattern will try to tell you more about the dominance of a particular stock or a buyer or a seller. And I'll teach you inside bar candlestick pattern. That will give you great opportunity to make money. Okay, let's try to start discussing continuation pattern. So the best example for a continuation pattern is Marubozu, right? So what is the difference between Marubozu and the general candlestick patterns that just we discussed? Any difference? Do you guys see any difference in this candle and the other candles that we discussed with case studies? What examples? No wick, right? Wicks are not available. What does that indicate? When wicks are not available, don't you think it is the pure dominance of either buyers or sellers? Right, that is the beauty of it. So let's try to explore few examples on the chart where whenever we see Marubozu, we might get an opportunity to stay back in the trade. What does Marubozu indicates? Whenever there is a Marubozu, that indicates pure dominance of the respective buyers or sellers. So after today's discussion, can I expect you guys to post a lot of examples in the group? Right. Let me show you a very good example. Because the more examples you try to come up with, so you will have a better opportunity in terms of identifying the same. Consider this candle to be a very good bearish Marubozu. So whenever there is a Marubozu, what does that indicates? There is no wick, there is no confusion. It's pure clarity, it's pure dominance. Hence, whenever there is a Marubozu, there will be a further fall once low of the Marubozu is breached. Okay, Marubozu candle. Time frame can be anything. I will show you in all the time frames. Okay. So whenever there is a Marubozu, if it is a red Marubozu, market will fall further. If it's a green Marubozu, market will go up further. Can I consider this also to be a red Marubozu? Even if there is a small wick, negligible wick at the bottom, that's okay. You can still consider that. Okay. If you see 97 to 98% as body of the candle, then still it is Marubozu. There was a significant fall after that. Right. So can I consider this to be a green Marubozu? Yes, no. See, the breaching the high of the Marubozu, if it's a green Marubozu, if high is breached, that's more than enough for you to continue the trade. Okay. If it is a red Marubozu, once the low of the red Marubozu is breached, you can go for it. So let me just try to check in 5 minutes. Let's see if we have any Marubozu here. See, accuracy of the candlestick pattern is only 50%. We need to match with other indicators. We can consider this to be a Marubozu, but once low was breached, it went up, right? If you keep high of the Marubozu as stop loss, definitely your stop loss will be hit. That's why just learn the candlestick pattern, but follow my setup. Is that clear? Because my setup will tell you whether this Marubozu will work or not. Okay. See, there is a red Marubozu. It did not go down. It went up, right? So that's why you need to be very careful in terms of identifying a particular candlestick pattern. Okay, just remember. See, there was a beautiful Marubozu here. Marubozu will indicate that the continuation might happen. I'm trying to say might. I'm not saying it will happen. Right, see, there is a red Marubozu. It should have gone down. Why did it go up? There was a Marubozu. It should have gone down. Why did it go up? Accuracy is only 50%. You will increase the accuracy of the candlestick pattern once you combine that with my setup. Okay. Once you understand RSI, you will only appreciate candlestick patterns in sync with RSI. Okay. See, here Marubozu worked beautifully. So just remember, Marubozu is a pure dominance. Marubozu indicates pure dominance. If it's a green Marubozu, market will go up. If it's red Marubozu, market will fall. Okay. So just remember this information, that is more than enough. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's try to discuss hammer, bullish hammer. Okay. So there are prerequisites that I want you guys to write down to identify a perfect bullish hammer, because every bullish hammer will not give you great reversal. Okay. So I'll give you certain prerequisites. Please write down. Just write down bullish hammer, and below that just mention prerequisites, and then write down one by one. First prerequisite, there must be preceding downtrend, like whatever you're seeing on the PPT. The stock has to be falling. The stock has to be in a bearish sentiment. That's why I'm saying preceding downtrend. First point, preceding downtrend. Just mark preceding downtrend. That will be the keywords for you to remember. Second prerequisite, the location of the candle should be at the bottom of the downtrend. Second prerequisite, the location, just underline location. Location of the candle must be at the bottom of the downtrend. But how do we know whether this particular candle is the bottom of the downtrend? Do you see the hammer here, which is encircled here? Yes or no? If the low of this particular hammer is not breached, then don't you think that will be the low or the lowest point? If the low of bullish hammer is not breached, then obviously that will become the low. If low is breached, then the prerequisite is not matching. Okay, the first prerequisite, there must be a preceding downtrend like this. Second prerequisite, location should be at the bottom of the downtrend where low of the candle is not breached. Third prerequisite, shape, underlying shape. Shape of the candle should be like bullish hammer. I'll explain the shape. Just write down this prerequisite first. Third point, shape of bullish hammer. Shape should look like bullish hammer. First prerequisite, preceding downtrend. Underline these two words as keywords to remember. Second point, underline location. Location of the candle should be at the bottom of the downtrend. And third point, the shape of the candle should look like hammer. Okay, are you guys clear with these 3 points? So how can we identify the shape? If you take the length of the candle, okay, if the 3/4 of the length, I'll just tell you, Anjanji, if 3/4 of the length of the candle is wick, and if it is present at the bottom, then that's a bullish hammer. Color does not matter while identifying bullish hammer. It can be green or red, but you guys have to match the prerequisites correctly. Irrespective of the color, if you are able to match all the prerequisites, it will work beautifully. Do we have a long wick at the bottom of the candle here? And the length of the candle, what is the length? How do you calculate length? It has to be the difference between high to low. Okay, if 3/4 of the length of the candle is wick and 1/4 is body, that is a perfect shape for a bullish hammer. The body color can be either green or red. Is that clear? Shall we go ahead to identify? Yes, Purnimaji, the bullish hammer will work in all time frames, provided if you match the prerequisites that you have just noted down. Shall we go ahead to explore example? Okay, so let me take one example here. Can I consider this to be a hammer? Do we have a preceding downtrend? Yes. The first prerequisite matched. Do we have the location of the candle at the bottom of the downtrend? Yes. How can I confirm that this is the bottom of the candle? Because there is no other candle which is trying to breach the low. There's no other candle which is breaching the low of this hammer. So obviously this will become the bottom of the downtrend. So, and does this shape look like bullish hammer? Yes, because almost 3/4 of the length of the candle is wick, that is at the bottom of the candle. Okay. Then mark high and low of this bullish hammer. When all the prerequisites are matched, the probability of getting 1:1 risk reward ratio is certain. See, preceding downtrend, and location of the candle is at the bottom. Okay, and shape looks like hammer. And once high of the hammer is breached, I'm not talking about closing, I'm talking about breaching the high. So what is the high here? Just a minute. What is the high of this candle? I think you guys can see value here. What is the high of this candle? I want everybody to type. 17,480.7. right? Even if there is 1 rupee increase, then it is considered as breached. Is that clear? Even if it becomes 17,481, it is considered as breach. At that time, you can enter trade immediately. Calculate the risk. Risk is nothing but the length of the candle. So I'm trying to take 25 rupees as a risk. Did I get 1:1 risk reward ratio here? For 25 points risk, I've got 127 points profit, right? This happened just because all the prerequisites are matched, right? So can I consider this to be a very good bullish hammer? Do we have a preceding downtrend? Yes. The location of the hammer is at the bottom because there is no candle breaching the low, and the shape looks like hammer. Mark high and low. Once high is breached, go for a buy trade. Calculate the length of the candle, which will be the risk. So the risk is 11 rupees. Did I get 11 rupees target achieved? Yes, right. So we got 1:4 risk reward ratio, right? So let me take Bank Nifty. Let me take Nifty Bank. So let me take a different time frame because it will work in any of the time frame. So can I consider this to be a bullish hammer? Let it be green or red candle. Just check whether do you have the prerequisites matching here. Preceding downtrend, location at the bottom. Once high is breached, you'll go for a buy trade. Okay. What was the risk? The risk was 80 points. What was the reward? 330 points. Right. So let us check Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel. Let me check 1 day time frame. We have a beautiful hammer. Yes or no? Parag ji, very good example. कितना तेजस्वी लोग हैं हमारे ग्रुप में. So there is a preceding downtrend. Yes or no? The first prerequisite is matched, and this is we cannot ascertain that this is the bottom of the candle. Tomorrow there can be a candle which can breach the low. So we have to wait for 1 more day to check whether the low is breached. If the low is breached, according to our definition, we are not taking this. If high of this candle is breached, then there is a high probability that it will go up. Okay. I'll teach you how to create alerts. Say, for example, if high is breached, there must be somebody to alert you in the market saying high of this bullish hammer is breached. You can go for a buy swing investment in this stock because we are trying for in 1 day time. Yes or no? If somebody can alert you, don't you think it's a better thing to do? So let me teach you how to create alert, which is free in Zerodha. So what is the high of the candle? I want everybody to type. What is the high of the candle? 754.35, right? So if the high of the candle is breached, let us say if it becomes 755, 75 paisa higher than the high, don't you think the high of this bullish hammer is breached? Right. Then don't you think we have an opportunity for swing investment just based on bullish hammer strategy? Yes. Next candle should breach. Whenever there is a breach of the high, say for example, if it becomes 755, now the high of the candle is 754.35. If it becomes 755, don't you think there is a breach and there is a high possibility? I'm saying possibility. There's no certainty in stock market. It's all about probability and possibility. Let me show you how to create alert for this. Just breach is enough. No closing is required. So let's create an alert so that whenever you do research, right, create alerts and forget it. Whenever such alerts are touched, created, you will get a pop-up message on Zerodha or you will get a mail. How to create alert? I'll show you. This is Bharti Airtel, right? So let me add Bharti Airtel here. Bharti Airtel. Do you see more options here? Yes or no? Click on more options. Do you see create alert here? Yes, right? So click on create alert. Hi, buy Airtel for swing investment. So some message you can give. Okay, buy Airtel for swing investment. LTP is the last traded price. Okay, so we are trying to create alert here. What is the message that I'm trying to give here? Buy Airtel for swing investment. Whenever I get this particular message, I'll blindly go and buy Bharti Airtel for swing investment. When the LTP of Bharti Airtel must be greater than, I don't want greater than or equal to, it should be greater than value. What value? What is the high? Correct. So this is the high value that it should cross. Buy Bharti Airtel for swing investment message will be popped up, or you'll get a mail, or you will get a message on mobile. When LTP, tomorrow's LTP of Bharti Airtel, if it is greater than the high of the bullish hammer. Do you guys remember this was the high of the bullish hammer? Yes or no? So don't you think it will indicate that high of bullish hammer is breached and you're good to go with the buy trade? Yes. Then just click on create alert. Automatically alert is created. I'll get a message tomorrow whenever this high is breached, and we'll just watch in 1 or 2 days if there is a bullish sentiment in the stock. Okay, let's try to check some other stock. Okay, NMDC. Okay, can you all please buy GAIL for swing investment tomorrow for 10% return? Okay, so what is the date today? Date is 27th. By 27th of next month, TVS Motor will keep running. I'm trying to give you one more stock. Yeah, keep persistent on TVS Motor. Those two stocks will also give you. You just observe GAIL, don't invest. Okay, just observe for experience. GAIL India Limited. Okay, so you should hold TVS as well as persistent, because the 1 month time is not at over. Please give some time for the stock to breathe. So 104.5 is the present value. What should be the 10% target? Oh, Swastik ji, you exited with 10% profit with GAIL. That's good. Just observe, don't invest. Just observe. Will it go 10% further up? Yes, 115 is the target. Can you all just drop a thumbs up when GAIL touches 115 by 27th March? Yes, keep booking for every 10%. Just observe. That will build a lot of confidence in you. Okay. So do we have a very good bullish hammer here? Preceding downtrend, location of the hammer at the bottom. Okay, once high is breached, do we have a significant move? So what was the risk that was involved in this? 3%. What is the reward that we have got? 10%. So 1:3 risk reward ratio. It will go further up. So what is 115? I think this is 115. Okay, so whenever it is trying to touch this 115, it will give you close to around 10%. Right. So list number one. Just I'm trying to tell you, Kalyan Reddy ji, try to keep an eye on this stock. Okay. So do we have a bullish hammer here? We're focusing more on the bullish hammer. Okay. So let's try to check 1 minute time frame. Let's see if it's working very well in 1 minute also. Let me take Nifty Bank. So Nifty Bank, it can be, there can be a small upper wick. Don't worry. Even if it is, even if you have 50% bottom wick, you can still go for it, because it is very difficult to find the textbook example. But you need to concentrate more on the prerequisite to identify. Prerequisites are matching, then you can still go for it. Okay. So this is a 1 minute time frame in Bank Nifty. So do we have a preceding downtrend? Please confirm things. Yes. Do we have the location of the candle at the bottom of the downtrend? Yes, because there is no candle which is breaching the low of this. And do we have the shape which is looking like bullish hammer? Yes. Once high is breached, it went up. Did it give 1:1? Let's check. The risk involved was 27 rupees. The reward is to 72 rupees. But once we get 1:1, we are out of the trade. no greed, right? Don't be greedy, be needy like me. I'm a needy person, right? So this is a very good hammer here, preceding downtrend. So once high is breached, you'll go for a buy trade. What is the risk? What is the risk? 13 points. So we got 31 points. So don't you think getting 1:1 is good, easy? So this will work beautifully. This will work beautifully. Stick to 1:1. Okay. Let me check in daily time frame. So will it work in daily time frame? Let's see. So can I consider this to be a hammer here? Paragji, can we focus more on the present example, please? Because the learning what you're going to miss will be too costly. Do we have a preceding trend here? And the location of the candle is at the bottom. There's no candle breaching the low. Once high is breached, we'll go for a buy trade. So what is the risk involved? So the risk is around 500 points. So then you can imagine. So 6,000 points. Swastik ji, this candle is below this, right? That's what you're saying. So this is the low, right? You should always consider what happens after the formation of the hammer. Is this a bullish hammer for you to take it into consideration? In that case, this is also low, right? If you're trying to take past data, don't you think this is also low? Swastik ji. So you should try to understand things after the formation of hammer. Is there any low? Is there any low after the formation of this particular candle is what I'm trying to explain. So if you take the past data, then it will become very difficult to understand because you can try to find as many examples because there is a low here also. Then it's tough to analyze, right? So what I'm trying to say, after the formation of the hammer, do we have any candle breaching the low? No, right? So once high is breached, so risking 500 points is good enough to capture 6,700 points, right? Nifty Bank. So let's take Coal India. Let's take Coal India. So let's check if we have any very good bullish hammer. So can I consider this to be a hammer here? Do we have a preceding trend here? Preceding downtrend. So the location of the candle is at the bottom. So I'm trying to take 3% risk in this swing investment. In return, I got 23% in 27 days. So getting 23% in a month is beautiful, right? So let me just check LIC Housing Finance. We have a beautiful hammer here. So let me draw high and low. Let me draw high and low here. Do we have a preceding downtrend here? Yes or no? Yes. The location of the candle is at the bottom. Once high is breached, then only we'll go for swing investment. So what is the high value, guys, here? What is the high value? 351.55. Because every time whenever we do some analysis on a particular stock, it's very difficult to come back to the same stock because you'll be so busy. So please create alerts immediately so that your analysis will not go waste. So 351.55. Let's try to create alert for LIC Housing Finance. Let me add LIC Housing Finance. So let's create alert. Shivnath ji, you need to stick to my swing investment strategy. Okay, this is very basic, right? This is very basic. So as a duty of the mentor, I'm trying to teach you basics. Accuracy of this is just 50%. accuracy of my swing investment is greater than 85%. Which one will you follow, Shivnathji? So please stick to the swing investment strategy, but try to understand this concept with the prerequisites that has a higher accuracy, right? So what is by LIC Housing Finance for swing to on biryani. Okay, so there's any message. Okay, when the LTP of LIC Housing Finance should be greater than what value? What is the high? Correct. This is the high of the hammer. Right. This is the high of the hammer. So by LIC Housing Finance for swing, when the LTP of LIC Housing Finance is greater than 351.55. Okay. So just create an alert and then suggest some more stocks like this. A beautiful suggestion. Can I expect you guys to drop as many ICICI Prudly? Let me just check ICICI Prudly. After the session, can I expect you guys to drop examples with this? Such a beautiful example. Vishalji. So don't forget me once you become a qualitative investor because you're able to find such high quality stocks. कितना तेजस्वी लोग हैं हमारे लोग. So this is a bullish hammer, right? So preceding downtrend location is at the bottom, and there is a previous psychological level where there was a rejection here, right? Market went up, so I'm expecting people will be fearful to go below this. According to the psychological level, the high of this candle must be breached. So let me just add ICICI Truly also, and let's try to create alert. So what is the high? High is 406.5. So 406 by ICICI Truly for swing, and last traded price is greater than what is the high? This over 406.5. So 406.5. Create alert. So we have created alert for ICICI Prudly, right? So persistent. Let me just check persistent. Yes, this is also a very good example because there is a preceding downtrend. Preceding downtrend. Preceding downtrend. What is the high? What is the high? 4,874.65. Right. So please create alert accordingly. Let me check Nifty 1 day time frame. अरे यार कितना तेजस्वी लोग. Such a beautiful identification. So what is the high? 17,451. Let's consider it as 51. So let me create alert for Nifty 50. So go here, create alert. Nifty is bullish. Last traded price of Nifty 50 is greater than value. What is the value? So approximately 17,451. 17,451. So once high of this bullish hammer is breached, you can buy call option. Just observe, don't buy, because you have advanced setup which is coming up later. Okay, this candlestick pattern is very basic. It has accuracy of 50%. Once you match accuracy of this candlestick pattern with my setup, it will be like close to around 85% accuracy. Okay, is this clear? How to create alert whenever you find the respective candlestick pattern which is trying to match all the prerequisites. Then click on create alert. Once this is breached, you'll get a message. So can I expect you guys to post a lot of example of Marabozone bullish hammer in the group? I've completed 2 candlestick patterns. Remaining 6 candlestick patterns will complete tomorrow. Yes, there can be, see, there can be 3 possibilities. We cannot say there can be a gap. It can be bullish once high is breached. It can become bearish if low is breached. If neither high nor the low is breached, it will become consolidated. These are the only 3 possibilities which can happen tomorrow. right? So the probability of breaching high is very good because of the prerequisite as per the candlestick pattern that we have learned. Is that clear? Can I expect at least one example of Marabou and one perfect example of bullish hammer in the group, so that it will be a very good exercise for all of you, and there can be a peer review. Just don't have to wait for my clearance. So please do homework and please follow it. Okay. Yes, whatever stocks that you guys are suggesting, please draw lines and post it in the group. Right, that will help others also. सबके साथ सबका विकास होगा. Right. So definitely all the small pieces of information, it will act as a puzzle. You combine all this together and you will become a qualitative trader. Right. Once you become a qualitative trader, there is no stopping, right? So it feels very good if you get paid 2 lakhs every day, right? That's a beautiful feeling. मशहूर होने की ख्वाहिश नहीं है हमें, मशहूर होने की ख्वाहिश नहीं है हमें, आप सब लोग मुझे पहचानते हो, बस इतना ही काफी है. Thank you. On this positive note, so let's wind up. Thanks for being such a wonderful audience. And I still see a lot of people missing out on session. So please do share your reviews of today's class in the group so that others can join. Okay. So Dhanyawad Guru. So see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. So good night. Take care. Thank you so much. Good night.